Okay. Okay. I don't know what happened. I was on here and then it just disappeared. I'm like, where did it go? What did I do? Okay. How is your day going? How was your week? Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know what happened. Hello, hello from the big A. Hey. Hey, 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 y'all. Welcome. Welcome, big. What are we getting into tonight? Okay, you already starting with questions. Ma'am, hold your questions to the end. You got your wine ready? Yes. Yes, yes. Oh, hope you guys are having a good week. I had a pretty decent week. My week is going great. Loving this season. Are you loving the snow out there? Everybody keeps saying how cold it is and that it keeps snowing. And I am like, I do not miss that weather at all. Okay. Yes, yes, absolutely. May he rest in peace and time to take off. Yes. Oh, hi. Welcome. I'm happy you're here. You made it. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Friday Night Chats with C. Oh my God, a new subscriber. How exciting. And a viewer. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Um, just kind of chatting it up and catching up here at the moment. Kind of how we started on Fridays, which I'm sure you've probably seen the videos already. So, um, yeah, I don't miss the snow at all. I don't miss it. I mean, I don't mind cold, but snow is, no, I'm okay. I don't need that at all. Join the Missy chat and family. Oh, you're so sweet. Sorry. Yeah, I'm having an okay week. Some pretty good stuff happening, which I'm super excited about. And I'll definitely share with you guys. But for the most part, it's been a pretty chill week. I can definitely say that I have definitely been just, I don't want to say tested, but you can always tell like when stuff is happening in your life and you're like, ooh, the old you wants to go back and really let people have it. I've been having one of those kind of weeks where I just kind of like, don't think because I'm super nice and sweet, I ain't got it deep, 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 deep down inside to read you one time. I feel like that, but I also feel like I understand that more, that it's not really my issue, it's other people's issue that they're having. And I think I've learned how to not let it affect me in such a way. Um, Hold on, sorry. My sister is trying to get on. She's so sweet. She's like, I can't find you. I know, because it gets weird every week. um, but I'm learning how to not let it bother me so much. I'm able to see people for just kind of who they are and not let them affect me or bother me so much. It has been a long time coming, because back in the day, I would definitely have some words to say to somebody. I would definitely let them know I'm bothered or I feel some type of way. But now I'm learning how to just let it roll off my back and keep pushing and doing what I know to do. Hey, hey, welcome, welcome, Miss Martina. Hello, hello, welcome. We have a new viewer with us tonight. Sincerely Key is here. You missed that so far, but nothing much. You're just catching up on the week as usual. Thank you for catching up on my videos. Oh, and your commutes to work. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I just really just be getting on here to talk. I think, sometimes we feel like we're alone and stuff, or that, we're just regular people out here trying to make it. I mean, not regular in the sense like we're just regular, because we're not regular, but we're just all trying to make it, and sharing our stories and experiences can help other people. And that's all I really try to do. I don't think I know it all or anything, but have been through a few things, have learned a few things, and love the conversation, the unity, the goal of just becoming better people, however we can, and whatever that looks and feels like. So thank you so much for watching my videos and subscribing. My subscribers are going up. I was like, oh my goodness. I looked up the other day and I was like at 160 something, like, shut up. Okay. I started almost 2 years ago. So that's pretty good. Super excited about that. Let's see. Missy and news or positive vibes or inspiration to share with us tonight. I definitely could use something inspiration to help me bring some vision to my wink to my life. Wink, wink. You are so silly. Oh, I don't know if she knows how to do that. Oh, she'll have to get my mom to help because I can't. I can't help her right at the very moment. But anywho, well, I hope I say something that's positive or inspirational to you, Miss Morgan. Maybe that was it, what I just did. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that's what you needed to hear. But sorry, she's really like trying to. If you know my sister Taylor, she's not as internet savvy as some of us are, so she's not really know how to use everything. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with me. I know that Tina is on tonight, and I have to take a minute, sincerely, on this very live, because thank you, Martina. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you be in life and you be trying to do stuff, or you be thinking that maybe you shouldn't do something, or maybe it's not that serious, or whatever. And oftentimes it takes somebody else to say something or to show you something that you're not seeing, to help let you know you're on the right page or on the right track, right? Like, right. So that's why it's important, the people you have around you and in your circle, that even though it may not be their dream or their goal, they see it for you, they want it for you, and they're supporting it for you, is so important. And let me just, okay. This is so dope. This was a gift from Martina that just is so freaking awesome. Okay, it's a little tumbler and it says chatting with C. I actually have something in it, so I can't turn it to the side. And then it also has my company logo on it on the other side. Isn't that just like so dope? And when she gave me the gift, I was kind of like, well, maybe I should just not do this, or I was just kind of in a weird space. And when I got this, I realized you have people supporting you and believing in you and going hard for you. You better go hard, okay? You got people want to see you make it. So thank you, Martina. Okay, but hold on, that's not it. Okay. And she watches with us every week. She got me like a little lunch thing too that go with it. And it has my logo and it has the chatting with C. Oh my gosh. Merch alert is right. I am just so appreciative that somebody thought that for me and of me, and I had to share on my channel. Like I had to share this because this is like super dope. Like this is my girl. I've been walking around with my cup, and if you know me, I always have a cup. Back in the day, it used to always be a cup of liquor. I'll just be honest. I used to keep a cup and I used to have liquor in it everywhere I went. Nowadays, I keep a cup, but it usually has tea in it, to be honest. But I've been carrying my little cup and carrying my little bag. I had it on my little desk at work the other day. And the lady was like, "Oh, that's cute. What's that?" Not what's that. Honey, better put some respect on it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to share that because I thought it was super sweet. What a great and thoughtful gift. Shout out to Martina, who watches faithfully every week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm so appreciative, and I know that what I'm doing is right, and I'm going to keep doing it because it matters. And even if you don't hit 10,000 people, if you only talk to 10 people, you know, it matters and it can make a difference what you're saying and what you're doing. So don't give up on your dreams. Know that your crew should be supporting you and rooting you on, straight like that. So I did want to put that out there. So okay, so with that, I think you guys all have wine and something tonight, so we could just cheers and toast to that. Okay. Get into it. That is CK Consulting, and you got Chatting with C, and I do wear lip stuff, so it always has lip stuff on it, so don't mind that. That's real life stuff, okay? I'm not editing that out or nothing. That happens. You get lip gloss on your cup. It is what it is. Get it on your wine glass or your glass at the restaurant. I'm not wiping it off 18 times. I'm just not. You know, we're just going to keep it real. So thank you, thank you. All right. So what else do I have? LOL, no wine tonight. No. Yeah, well, I'm sure you had something to drink. You could toast with us. A Corona. Okay, I like Corona. I think Morgan said she had a drink. I did think I put this one down as a Friday night wine down. You don't have to drink, obviously. I'm not a big drinker anymore. I can do wine from time to time, but even that can be a little bit much some days. So whatever you're drinking, tea, coffee, water. Hey, there you are. Hey, Taylorin. She found us, y'all. My sister got logged in. Yay. Hey, girl. Welcome, welcome. And we got her up and running so she could comment now. Hey. You haven't missed much, my dear. I was just showing my tumbler that Martina got me and my little lunch pail with my merchandise on it with my slow logos. So that's pretty much it. So I had some questions that came in, and they're actually kind of not really different in a sense. You normally get questions, but these were kind of, a couple of them were a little bit more like situational based, which I thought was kind of cool. So I don't know if somebody's like watching or they watch these later, but hopefully they will get the answer. They will watch the live and get the answer. Because a lot of times I respond back to people directly via email when they send them. But I'm trying to move away from that and really try to answer them on live because other people may have the same question or may have some insight. Like, you know, we chat about it all together. So I'm going to read them aloud instead of responding directly back to the email. So we can kind of help each other out a bit. So that's what I was going to do tonight. It's a little different than what we normally do, but it's still the same chatting with C. So here is the first one that I got. And I'm not going to say who sent it because they didn't tell me to read it off, and I don't really feel like that really matters who sent it in a sense. So I'm not going to share whose email this came from, but it says, my boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. No real issues, except I think I've outgrown the relationship. Long story short, we started dating in high school and I'm 25 now and I want out. we just aren't seeing eye to eye on our future, and I feel like I want more in my life. How do I break up with him without hurting his feelings? Well, I think that's a good question. Um, hmm. So, and also, I'm just going to answer these off the top of my dome. I didn't actually put like quotes and stuff together. So, um, I definitely feel like, for one thing, I would say that I'll start with the how to not hurt somebody's feelings. I don't feel like we really can control if we hurt someone's feelings or not, in a sense. We don't have to be like outright mean and like, you're the scum of the earth and, like, I don't think you need that. That can really hurt somebody's feelings. But typically, when you're breaking up with someone or separating yourself, their feelings can get hurt. And sometimes there's not a way to avoid that, no matter how nice you say it, no matter if you write it, no matter if you do it public. Like, there's just, their feelings are going to be hurt, especially if you've been with someone for 7-8 years, something like that. Yeah, about 7-8 years. Their feelings are going to be hurt, especially if he felt like there was a future, or that if he's blindsided, like he thought the relationship was going really great and well, and he thought maybe you guys are moving to the next level, and then you hit him with like, oh, just kidding, I want out. His feelings may be hurt, and there's really not a lot you can do about it except make sure that your delivery is clear and direct. It's not sending mixed signals, and that you really, when you say it, you really mean it. And then also, not being mean, not placing a lot of blame. Well, you did this and you did that, and I'm just tired of you in this. Like, if you really want out for yourself and for your future, then it really shouldn't be about what the other person has done, or what over the last 5 years you haven't. If they ask, well, why, what's going on, it's opportunity to be honest. I think honesty is a good approach. I use honesty in dating. Probably shouldn't. I don't know, but I do. I will definitely let a guy know, like, this isn't working. I don't think you're really quite there, or, you're not really emotionally available, or whatever. I feel like, it was my thing. However, I don't say it meanly, because I would like for it to register with them a little bit for the next woman that they get with, or in their dating world altogether. So I don't know so much that you can protect his feelings in that aspect, because when you are doing something for yourself and you're trying to get yourself to the next level, it does tend to mean that some people are going to get left behind. Some people are going to be excluded. Some people you're going to have to separate yourself from, and their feelings are going to probably get hurt. They probably are. And, for them in their personal life, now it's a part of their journey of how to deal with those feelings to help them along their own journey. So I would say, if you know that you really want out and you really want to just do something else, I think that you should be honest and just let him know, and then make a clean break and go do you. And when I say clean break, I mean like a real clean break. Like, sometimes people break up with people because we don't want to hurt their feelings. And so we're like, oh, we can still be friends, or, oh, yeah, we can still hang out, and, oh, you should come over. Let me take you to dinner. Oh, okay. That kind of stuff. Then it gets all messy. And here's the thing is that if he still wants to be with you, and you've made it clear that, like, you want to do something else, but you're still hanging out with him, and you're still answering text messages, and you're still doing all of those things, and then on top of that, you're also dating other people or doing whatever it is that you want to do, he's going to feel some type of way. And that's where feelings and anger and resentment and all that's going to come into play. So I would say that it's very important that if you really care and love someone, that you make sure that if you're going to do it, you make a clean break and try not to place a lot of blame. And just because something ends doesn't mean it's failed. It doesn't mean you're a terrible person or the relationship was terrible. It just means that the season is over. And in order to get to the next place in life, we have to end certain things to begin other things. So I would definitely take that with you as well, if you hear that message. Anybody else want to chime in? Did I leave something out, or have you been there, did that, had to do that? I've definitely had to stop dealing with some dudes before, but I was also the nice girl who was like, "Oh, we can hang out still," and then I was like hanging out with them still, but no, I wanted to be over here doing something different, and then I ended up really hurting their feelings. So that's why I can say like that just probably isn't the best approach. Sometimes you need a clean break, especially so healing can begin, not only for him but for you, because if you guys have been together that long, you're going to need to heal as well, and learn to readjust to a new normal that doesn't involve that person. And in the beginning, it is going to be difficult because it's who you've known, and it's much like a marriage. When people break up from a marriage, not saying that relationships, I'm not saying it in that sense, but I am saying the emotional piece of it, regardless how long you were with someone, can be really heavy on people because it is a new normal and a new adjustment. And you're going to see something that, on the internet makes you laugh and makes you think of that person, and you used to sending it to them like, oh, I don't send it now. Or I do. Some people are like, oh, I really like this spot, but they go to this spot. Now you have to find new spots and stuff like that. So it's all a new and adjusting thing, even for you. Even if you are the one who wants out of the relationship, you still are going to have to heal and find new things to do as well on either side. So I wouldn't worry so much about hurting his feelings in that space. However, again, it's going to be in the delivery. It's going to be in how it's done, what you say. I wouldn't break up with him like in a public place, all like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it like on Thanksgiving morning or like, certain stuff. Like, if you really care about trying your best to have a clean break. And a lot of that, I would say, also plays to me. A lot of people don't believe in it. I do. I believe in karma. And so when I do stuff with friends or people, relationships, breaking up with somebody, cutting somebody off, I could be very mean about it. I very much so, but I always like to think, if it's vice versa and a guy was trying to break up with me, would I want him to embarrass me? Would I want him to tell me that all the shit that I didn't do in the relationship and how I ain't shit, not just because he wants out? Like, I wouldn't want that. And so I try to treat people the way I would like to be treated and communicate in that sense. Now, does that always work? No. I mean, there are some people who just don't get it. However, that's what I'd say. So I wouldn't say anything or break up with him in any way that you wouldn't want it done to you. Let me see. 2 years is ample time to know if it's working or not. They must really care about this person to hang on this long. Sometimes I found that I'm not alone in my feelings about relationships. Makes sense. I mean, I think, yeah, 2 years is ample enough time. Usually the other person may be feeling something too sometimes. Very true. That's why I said, like, is it a blindsided situation where he is going to feel like, where did this come from? Like, I had no idea. Or is it a situation where maybe it's been kind of leading up? But, women, sometimes we check out long before men even catch on to the fact that we're checking out. So, and then you also don't want to make it a thing where it's like, well, I don't want to blindside them, and so now I'm going to stay in. It's just better to follow your feelings. It's better to follow your heart. It's better to follow your gut. Obviously, we get in relationships and we want them to last our whole lives. Obviously, for most people, it's not the case for everybody, right? Everybody doesn't marry their high school sweetheart. Although I think I got some people on here who did. Who did, which is great. It's not a reality for everybody. But even in that, people change, they grow apart. I think Tia Tia Mowry just had an interview, and I think she said it really great, that even though her and her husband are divorcing after all this time, she doesn't look like it. I mean, she doesn't feel like it or look at it as being a failed marriage, because they had great kids, they had a great relationship when it was happening. However, it's just ended. And in order for her to get to where she wants to go on the next levels of life, it just wasn't that for her anymore. And it would appear that by his comments, I guess, on social media, that he seems to have been blindsided, that he just had no idea this was coming. I don't know how true I think that is. I think I agree that most people know there's an issue. They know there's a problem. Um, Women oftentimes like to really fight or have communication or talk or try to fix things before we leave or before we check out. So I don't feel like oftentimes men are so blindsided as much as they just didn't think you would actually do it. And so when you do it, then they got to be, then they got to put on the production of a lifetime of, oh my gosh, just came out of nowhere. I was just buying a ring the other day. I just went to the store. Like, then it becomes all it is, okay, sir. So, yeah, but people grow and change, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There will be some people who will have a ton of loves in their lives or relationships or things. You have like J-Lo. She's been married a couple times. Kim Kardashian's been married a couple times. They didn't work, but whenever these women were in these relationships, they were in them, and they were in them for whatever they were in there for. And these men were. And at the end, it was just over. And then you just kind of move on, and you've learned whatever lesson. And some people, it's the same lesson. I probably learned the same lesson over and over. Like, break the cycle. But I think that happens too. I think the weight of, people feeling like they have to stay in a relationship that's no longer benefiting them to benefit the other person, or to save face, or to not feel like a failure, I think really comes down to your perspective and how you choose to look at it. I'm big on perspectives. I'm big on looking at stuff from a totally different angle than just what's right there. Everything for me is about perspective and about how you're choosing to look at it, what you're choosing to take from it, what you're choosing to allow in, compared to, it was just a lost mission, a lost cause. I hear a lot of people say, wasted all these years, wasted all that time. And I don't know so much that you did. If you choose to look at it like that, then I guess, yeah, you could. But also, I think it could have been a real lesson, and you ended up saving yourself for real from some more wasted years, when something dissolves and ends. So that's what I would say. That's what I think. Let me see. I feel like everyone kind of sees it coming some kind of way, or at least a little inkling. Yeah. They don't think we will actually leave. Yeah, usually that's it. They're just more so shocked that, oh my gosh, you're really leaving. Yeah, I think that. Unless you just really was just in the then that would say that I don't know. Every situation is different. There's some situations where people have been blindsided. They really just did not believe, or they just didn't want to see it. It makes me think of one of my favorite movies, A Family That Prays. I love that movie. Ugh, I can watch it every time I do watch it every time it comes on. Actually, I do still to this day. But Sanaa Lathan's husband, he was just like clueless to the whole thing going on. Like, she was having a whole relationship with her boss, had a whole kid with him. She was getting money, upgraded cars, like bank account stacked, everything. And he like literally had no like real inclination, I guess. I mean, I guess he kind of thought it, but he never really put it together. And then when it came out, you know, what was going on, he was even still like, what's going on? It was terrible. That was awful. That was so, she was so mean for that. But I mean, for him, he just felt like this is our life and this is what we do. And for her, she had a whole nother world going on. And I mean, I guess if he would have been more in tune to her and like really what was going on, you know, he could tell that she was coming home later. She, you know, was irritated with him and, you know, all that kind of, I mean, the signs were there. He was just, I guess, to me, choosing not to see it or just really believe like he was that man. Like, she ain't messing with nobody. I'm that guy. And dang, really cold. But that's what that made me think of. Sorry. I love that movie though. But so yeah, that was the one question. I'm about to say, please don't bring up Twister. Twister, don't do me, Miss Morgan. Okay, now Twister is one of my favorite movies too. Okay, I have a lot of favorites, but Twister is definitely top 3 for me. It always has been since the first time I ever seen it, like in 95, 96. Love that movie. But no, that's not what I was talking about, Miss Morgan. Also, sometimes we know in a week too that this isn't going to work and hang on wishing things change. There is that. Now that is real. That is real. That, yeah, sometimes you know early on that something is not going to work and you still stay and try to see if things change. I think people do that in a lot of situations, not even just dating. I think sometimes we take on jobs that we know off the rip, this is not going to work, but we really stay because we're trying to find some benefit or we really need a job or whatever, but you really know that it's not it. Relationships, I think, yes, a lot of times people do see those red flags and ignore them. And a lot of that has to do, for me, I think, with just how you feel about yourself, your standards that you have, that you've put out there, what you really believe you're worth and worthy of. Sometimes it's a little, are you just too nice? Or, you know, I feel like there's a lot of things that go into that, but I think it does happen a lot. And I think I seen an interview where somebody was saying like people fall in love with people's potential. And that would be something that I feel like people will be like, oh, I really like him. He seems cool. I really like her. She seems cool. And ooh, yeah, like, ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah. But like on the end, really like their conversations wag. They don't really have nothing to talk about, or, you know, they really don't have nothing going on. They've already lied to you 3 times. They already are inconsistent. You know, you chasing them too, you know, like there's stuff, and we're sometimes holding on, hoping that they're going to see our worth, they're going to see our value, that they're going to roll over one day and wake up and be like, oh my gosh, he is the one, you know. And that's not, obviously that's not it. I think too, unfortunately, I think in the Black community, there's been a lot of the idea that relationships have to be all of this drama and turmoil and all of these things before you get to the love part. Like if it doesn't have all of that, red flags in the beginning that you fought through and had to show you was down for, then it's not real. And so people do stick around longer than they should. And I think a lot of it is being afraid to say, hey, this isn't going to work for me. I wish you the best. And it's all in the delivery. Again, I think I was having a conversation with this lady at work, and she was saying, like, you know, we were talking about it, how, you know, she was saying, like, I give my phone number out to the guys now. I give my real number, and then I just block them because I don't want no problems. And it's like, I think that women and men, I think men have gotten to the place where they take rejection so hard because their own situations, but then it's also how we as women are turning them down. I don't think we need to be mean and rude about it. I'm not mean and rude about it. That's just me. Because I don't want nobody to be mean and rude to me about nothing like that. So again, that's how I look at stuff. But it's how you deliver the communication. It doesn't have to be negative. It just, hey, this isn't going to work. I don't need to point out your 18 flaws as to why this isn't going to work. It's just not going to work. And being not, as polite as you could possibly be, right? We're all dating. Everybody's looking for somebody. And trying to find that perfect person for them or whatever, in a sense. And we don't want to tear people down as we're all going through it, right? Like, I don't want the next person to tear me down why it's not working for them. I think honesty and just communicating. I was on a dating app not too long ago, and I had matched with this guy, and in his picture or in his little profile, he said he had kids. Whatever, totally fine. I'm not totally against a guy with kids. I'm totally against a certain number of children. But we started talking. It was like the first day we were messaging, and he said, I am a father. I have three kids, and I like to get them every weekend. And, he does this, that, and the third. And he seemed like a very nice, genuine guy. And I was like, that is super dope. I thought, wow, cool. I'd love to see a man on his stuff, doing his thing, handling business. And I very politely let him know that and he told me he was looking for a wife, like he was dating with the intentions to marry somebody, and that's where he was at with it. And I let him know that with that being the intention, that I didn't feel like it was a good match. Because 3 kids is a lot for me, and I don't have kids. And that's basically how I put it. I didn't want to waste his time nor my time. And he said thank you and kept it pushing. It's regular communication, right? Like, for some women, they would have held on to that, knowing that they don't want to. Some men, knowing that they don't really want to date a woman with kids, will still hold on and see where it's going. I think you play yourself, and you end up wasting or playing other people in that. And so I think it's better to just say, hey, this isn't going to work. In 2 weeks, if you see it's not working. It's just not. I think we should say that. And you will know. Your body will tell you, their energy will tell you, the way they talk to you, treat you. Whatever is off about it, you'll know it. And it's, especially if it's a character flaw. If it's a character flaw, I'd be like, no, that's not changing. Now, if it's something like the way he dressed or something, it's like you can help him out with that. That's a little stuff. But like character flaws, or his communication style, or the way that, like, if he's down talking you real aggressive or something, yeah, you can kind of know. If, the conversation is always about nothing, you kind of know, you know what I mean? So I would agree with that statement, that usually you can know pretty quickly if you are into someone, if you're not. And sometimes you could be into somebody and they're really cool and great, and you can go on a couple weeks and a month, and then all of a sudden they do a 180 on you. I mean, that happens too. It's really getting out of there before you get too far deep in stuff. And by that, I mean, like, before you start having kids with people, and before you start trying to marry folks and putting bank accounts together and buying property. Like, I don't think you'll ever fully 100% know anybody, especially dating. I don't think that you're ever going to fully get the full picture. And I say that because we're always changing and growing, or we're not. And so what happens is that some of these relationships, like probably the person who sent that in, she's growing as she's growing and evolving in her own journey, and maybe he is not, and that is kind of drawing a difference. And sometimes for a man, he feels like what we have is great, it's awesome. In the movie, again, that was in the movie. And for her, she's like, no, I want to like go up and up. And if you are going up and up, and you're realizing that the people around you, the people in your circle, your man included, your woman included, is not trying to go up, and it's not up with you necessarily. They're not trying to evolve their own life and continue going up, and you guys are doing it together, then it is going to now not be evenly yoked, or yoked as they say, anymore. And so somebody's always going to feel like you're pulling somebody, or somebody's always going to feel like they're being pulled back down in a situation. And so I think it is important to accept stuff for what it is and what it was, allow it to be that, and be okay with the fact that you may have to change direction, change the circle, change the route, to get to where you're really trying to go, and know that it's a journey. She may leave this boyfriend of 7-8 years, and now she joins the dating world that we're all in, and it definitely has pee in it. Definitely does. However, that's not to say that she's better off in a relationship that she knows she doesn't want to be in, just because other people are in the dating world, that she could really break up with him and meet somebody like 2 weeks who like changed her whole world, marries her in two years, and has kids and does all of that. So, I mean, that can happen too. It's really about being yourself and following your own intuition, your own gut, trusting that what you want is real, going after it, and knowing that the cards will line up for you. So I say go for it. What did you say? LOL. LOL at the dating pool. It's a little tart. It's a little interesting. However, haven't given up on it. I'm going to keep on dating. Let me see. Taylor Wren asked, how can I a relationship with myself and others? How can you have a better relationship with yourself and others? Is that what you're asking? That's a loaded question. I already used 40 minutes on the first one. That's a good one. Let's see. Building a relationship with yourself and others. Building a relationship with yourself is probably key, because it helps you to build relationships with people outside of yourself, externally. However, sometimes we learn about building those relationships with ourselves through other people and our interactions with other people. A good way is to learn to just really start liking to spend time with yourself, doing stuff on your own, really getting to know what you like and don't like, what are your hobbies, doing them. That's a great way to build a relationship with yourself. If you are spiritual or religious, tapping into that a little bit to see purpose and value in yourself. What makes you you, because we're all different and we all have a purpose. What is it about you that's great, that that is so great? And that would be taking the time to ask yourself those things and really looking. I think that's one way to build a real solid relationship with yourself. Setting boundaries is another thing that I think is important. Making sure that you have some morals or values, a set of standards that you kind of live your life by, that help to guide you, that help you to make decisions when you're making decisions that you use. I think that's really good to have when building a relationship with yourself, because then you're never untrue to you. I think right now in the world, we're looking at a lot of people who just the moral compass is gone. And I joke with my mom all the time. I'm like, we're just out here. People just out here. They just out here. And I joke about it, but it's real. Like, people really are just out here doing any and everything at this point. And some of the stuff you're looking at people doing it's clear that there's no set values that they have. There's no standard. There's no moral code. There's no ethics that they hold themselves to. There's no like, this is some shit I just ain't gonna do kind of thing. There's none of that in a lot of it. It's just whatever goes. And I think if you don't have some of those, it makes it hard for you to have a relationship with yourself. I think that makes it hard for you to have a relationship with other people, because you kind of moving around and you're here, there, you're blowing in the wind kind of situation. And I think that makes for very dangerous people. I think when you're younger, you have the values that your parents gave you. And of course you try stuff that's different. And that if your parents found out you even were doing that, they would be like, we raised you better than that, right? You have to find your own when you get older. It may be the same ones that your parents gave, and then you may add to them, you may subtract some things. I think that's fine. But I think there has to be a level of just some moral standard or compass that people follow for themselves. Will help to create a great relationship with yourself. Because it's kind of like that saying, stand for something or fall for anything. If you know what you'll stand for, if you know what you'll accept, you know what you won't accept, you know what you will do, and you know what you won't do, you know how far you'll go in a situation, you know what's too far to go, those kinds of things, they can help to guide you in life and help to get you to the next levels of life if you use them. If you don't have them, then you're prone to just kind of do anything, be anywhere. You're prone to allowing negative thoughts into your head and believing them. You're more prone to not really caring about your body or caring about yourself, because we're just out here kind of deal. So I think that's important. And then building relationships with others, is that one takes time, just like the one with yourself. But it's just the work that you put in. To me, I have great relationships with people. My whole circle, I think, is super dope and super tight. I have gone from this big of a circle to like very, very small circle. Oh, there it goes. Small circle. And that's okay. I've had people come in, I've had people go out. That's okay. I have messed up in some relationships and friendships, and with others, other people have messed up in the relationships, and that's okay. I have found that I am most able to build positive and healthy relationships with people who value relationships, who feel like relationships are important. And if you find those kind of people, then building relationships with others is easier. It doesn't feel like a struggle. It doesn't feel like a chore to do. It's exciting. You don't mind talking to them and hanging out or doing stuff or thinking of them, because you know that it is reciprocated and that they value the friendship, the relationships the same way. And not so much just mine, but how they are on a whole. Like they value relationships. That's important to them. And so when you have people like that, I think those are the people that you want to worry about building relationships with when it comes to others. I don't want to build relationships with people who don't understand respect or loyalty. I don't want to build relationships with people who are negative all the time. I'm not interested in building relationships with people who have no moral compass or no ethics code, or people who just do anything. Like, I don't want to. So I wouldn't be trying to build relationships with them, because that goes against the relationship that I've built with myself. And that's why it's important that you build the relationship with yourself, because then it'll help you when you're building relationships with other people. It'll help you to know who can stay, who to let go, who to kind of look at and see. think as you're evolving and as you're changing and as your life is going in different directions, different people are going to come in. I know a lot of people be like, oh, no new friends, no new friends. I totally feel that. I totally do. However, I do believe that as you are moving up and expanding yourself, that there has to be openings for new people to come in. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to replace your crew. That means they're adding to what you have going on and adding to your circle, and that can be a positive thing too, but they may not come in all the way in, but they may still be great in this space and in this circle as you're in this part of your life. So I think that's okay too. I think just taking your time is a good idea when you're building relationships with others. Allow yourself to be yourself. Be yourself. If you can't be yourself when you're building relationships, don't build that relationship. If you have to be somebody else, if you have to watch what you say, if you're building relationships with people who don't know how to take accountability, who don't know how to deal with conflict, who don't know how to reciprocate, any of that kind of stuff, that's not a relationship worth building. I'm too old to show you how to be my friend. It's my take. I'm too old to show you how to be a friend. For me, that's just me. And that's my age where I'm at. I feel like certain things just on a friendship level, it's just across the board. Now, of course, each of my friends is very different. How they want me to talk to them is different. How I hang with them is a little different. However, in all the spaces, I'm me. In all the spaces, I'm showing up as me. However, I know this friend particularly likes this or doesn't like this, or if I really want to go and do this, I know I should call this friend compared to this friend. I mean, so you start to learn and you're building those relationships, and then it's important to them, so it's not one-sided. They're reaching out, they're doing the same thing as well. They can depend on me, I can depend on them, kind of deal. So I would say those would be great ways to really think about building a relationship with yourself and with others. I think another thing that I would add is when you're building the relationship with yourself, learning to be patient with yourself, showing yourself some compassion, and forgiving yourself is key. Because if you can do that with yourself, it will help you in the relationships that you'll have with others. It will help you to show compassion to them. It will help you to accept them. It will help you to be able to forgive sometimes when that's necessary, to take accountability. Anything that you would be doing or wanting in a relationship with others, you should be able to give and do for yourself as well. So that would be my take on that, Ms. Taylorin. Thank you for that question. That was a good one. Kind of threw me off a little bit, but that was good. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's see. I've been talking a long time. My throat be getting dry and stuff. This is just the cutest little cup ever. Get into it. Okay. Well, I have surely talked for a whole hour. And I did have some other questions, but I think I will save them because we are at the hour. If anybody has any questions that they would like answered right now, I can do that. Otherwise, I think we had a good session. This is super exciting, super good. We had a new subscriber, new follower with us tonight. And I'm super excited about that. Super excited. That's so exciting. Oh my goodness. Just be talking. I'm like, Jeezy, who would think people want to hear me talk? I think he said something along those lines in one of his songs back in the day. Love it. Yeah, so I hope that everyone has a great weekend. I know the holiday is coming up. I hope that you are um, have some great plans to spend time with loved ones or friends, or if you're spending time by yourself. I hope that you enjoy the time. If you are off of work, I hope that you take off and enjoy and close your laptop and don't answer the emails, don't look at your phone. Enjoy your time that you have. We are often so worried about work and oh my gosh, my emails and oh my gosh, that when we do get time off, a lot of people don't take it. They don't even know how or what to do. So if you are off, find something new to do. Get out, adventure, do an activity of some sort. Just enjoy your time that you do have. I know a lot of times we're just like, oh, I just want to sit at home and just relax and do nothing. And I think that's dope too. Whatever it is that you would like to do that makes you feel good or that will bring some sense of peace, calm, clarity to you. Holiday seasons tend to be a very heavy time for a lot of people, especially for people who have had deaths in their families and loved ones that are no longer here to celebrate during this time. So show yourself some extra compassion as well as others. You never know what they're going through in the store, in traffic. Shopping's coming up, so people will be out next weekend trying to catch deals and stuff. Try not to let other people's negative energy bring you down. Let's see. We are almost in December already. That's wild. So I hope that you're working on your word of the year. I hope you're starting to think about that because we're going to start getting into our word of the year for 2023. This year was the year of you. Was the year which we've been doing. We've been digging in ourselves. We've been trying to heal and grow and find some purpose, figure out the best ways to build relationships, to be our better selves, to deal with conflict, setting boundaries. We've done a lot this year of work on ourselves, and the work will never be done as long as we're here. There will be always levels and things to do. So next year's theme is going to be just a little bit different. We're going to take it up just a notch, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. Not quite yet. So start thinking of your word that you would like for next year. It's a good time to start thinking about what your word of the year was for this year and how you felt that went. We'll definitely talk about that and reflect on the year coming up. That won't be till December, so you got time. I'll let you know in advance on that call, on that chat, when we'll talk about that. But I hope you have a great weekend. I actually was asked to co-host a vision board event here in Houston this weekend, and I am super excited. Oh my goodness. Oh, super excited for that. Y'all know I do vision boards, and y'all know I believe in them. I think they are real. I got 3 on my board right there right now, so we're getting ready to add my 4th one, and that's just for those years. I got some more tucked away, but so I'm super excited to be a part of that. Again, when you are chasing your dreams or just doing what feels right, the universe will add the pieces and put stuff together that you're not even paying attention to. And it's just amazing. So if you are at that place where you're just not sure or you don't know what's going on, please don't give up. Keep going. Keep doing the work. It is all worth it. The journey of me and where I have got to in life did not happen overnight. It did not happen when I moved to Houston. It was in play years ago. I didn't even realize it, but when I look back now, I can see the pieces and some spaces that started. I can see some things that I wanted back then that are now coming to pass that I've manifested, and so it's super exciting, and it can happen for you. It's probably happening for you. You don't even realize it yet. So stick with whatever it is you have going and trust the process, because we're all doing the work to become better people, which in turn helps us live in a better world. So don't ever stop or ever think that what you're doing is not enough. It doesn't matter. It's so small. Nobody knows me, whatever it is. Don't don't quit, because it does matter, and it does serve a great and awesome purpose. So with that, thank y'all so much for tuning in with Chatting with C this Good Friday. I hope that you have a great weekend. Enjoy your holiday, and I will see you guys next Friday on Black Friday. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll wear all black. I don't know. We're going to see. Have a great weekend, a great week, everyone. Thank you.